All right, guys. In today's video, we do something a little different. I know I haven't been uploading consistently, and that's really just because there's no game that I am super invested in right now. And Retro Yu-Gi-Oh just continues to grow. There continues to be in-person events. Now there's like PPG is doing tournaments. There seems like there's an RBET like every other month. There's YCS Retro Yu-Gi-Oh support, even though they just changed it to time travel. But I still might go to those anyway. And every time a new game comes out, a new card game, something, it gets canceled. It sucks. It's ugly. Something like that. So I'm thinking about going back to what I know and playing this and like maybe Popper because I think Popper and Magic is really fun. With that being said, I've been playing a lot of Hero Frogs, on and off, and I just love the deck. And it's had its problems in the past. It's just like for instance, last year or so, there's been a lot of dupeless frog decks because you draw hands that are like dupe frog, prodigy, ocean, and then like Regeki break, and you're like, okay, cool. I guess I'm gonna lose this game, or you just get blown out by DDV because you've got a million targets because you've got three sub, two swap, two treeborn, junk, prodigy, and it's just a lot. And I saw Hayden's top at the RBET. I think he got top 8, I think, and he was playing Water Art, and so I decided to give that a try. And I've been wanting to try dupeless frogs, but I really enjoy the dupe lock and having my opponent stare at it, and the sub dupe lock, and bringing out Unifrog and getting more pluses. But it's just like you're drawing all these horrible cards. Unifrog's another DDV target. So like on my board here, like won the last 7 out of 10 games, and then I went on a hot streak like right here. I think I won 10 or 11 games right there. But I just need to climb back up so I can play against better opponents. And I just had a couple funny games tonight I wanted to share. And also the deck list that I'm currently working on. And it's really, really close to Hayden's because, I like the idea of the dupeless frog deck and then taking a step further and like just taking out the uni frogs and all that stuff. I'm sure the dupeless frogs are already taking out the uni, but yeah, so this is the current list that I've been, the last couple games I'm going to show. And the water art is so insane. I ordered these a long time ago because I was like, man, if I ever test these and end up being good, I'll play them. But I ordered them common, and I had to go buy some supers. And in the DDV, there were a bunch of top decks running water art, and it's just absolutely insane card. So I think Hayden's list wasn't running junk, and it was running 2 Ryza, and it was running Death Frog, and I'm still playing Future Fusion over that. I think that's the only difference between this list and Hayden's. So, this is basically his list. I just don't really like, the whole point is I'm trying to draw less frogs that are unnecessary, and Future Fusion is just a 1 card 0 to me. And if I have a miracle, it automatically turns that on as well. So it's like just spamming 0 seems really strong. But I am considering taking out the junk. It's a really good card. I like searching it with reinforcement. I like the like Future Fusion, summon junk, bring back the swap I just sent, bounce the junk back to my hand, just plussing a bunch. But sometimes it can be really awkward to draw, especially if you haven't seen your frogs yet. Is a DDV target. So I mean, it has its problems, right? It's like you're trying to do too much sometimes. So that's a card I'm still considering taking out. Might be for another Ryza. And then the Future Fusion, I really like it. It's not hurting me right now. It's just a little awkward when you turn off your Gores. You can turn off your Treeborns, and then if your opponent has back row, you can't swing unless they don't have like Deep Prison, because the Future Fusion will stay, and that really messes up your whole game. So, I can definitely see why it's not in there, and that would maybe become... I'm not sure. It's like the trap lineup's really heavy already. We already have 3 upstarts. I'm not sure what that card would be. I'd have to think about it. Maybe I go back to run an enemy controller. It's just another card that, like, when your things aren't going your way in frogs, it doesn't seem to work out too well. Same thing with like Soul Exchange. It's really broken when you like Subzitoad, Soul Exchange, or Soul Exchange Monarch. But without the dupes and the uni, it's a lot less powerful to do those kind of plays anyway. And my side deck, I just kind of threw it together. I mean, I think I'm always going to be on the Triple Dust because of Master Restrict, because of Black Whirlwind, things of that nature. And then I'm always going to be playing at least 2D Prison somewhere in the 75, but I was playing the Deep Prison over the water arts, and I liked that initially because it was giving me more play against like GBs and beat down, and it's good against Fortress and stuff like that. But man, it can be an awkward ass card too, and so that's why I just decided to try the water arts. It's just been really popular like last couple of weeks, and it's super super strong. Still have the one vortex in the side. I like it, against combo decks. Titanial. It's good against machines because they like to play a bunch of cards and spam the board. And if they don't equip Gear Frame, it's really good. Vanities is kind of like in a weird spot for me. I still love the card, but a lot of Frog decks are citing Bottomless now, D-Prisons now, plus the traps I already had in there before, and it's really hard to get a clean shot with this card. It's like you have to get to a point where like you're already like almost pseudo winning anyway, and then you drop it. It's like the last nail in the coffin rather than a card you just play out now. Because a year and a half ago there was just like Regeki breaks, and then it started being like Regeki breaks and Torrential Mirror Force, and then prisons started being added to the main, and then now Bottomless are being cited. So it's kind of weird. I really like Crow. Kind of want 2 Crow in here. I don't know. It reminds me of a card like Rest in Peace in Magic. It's like there's a point where like you can draw it and it's like too late. After they've already accomplished their goals. That's why it's a 1 of now. Love Cyber Dragon, especially going second. Don't even have to side it in against machines. I just really like the additional pressure. I've been considering trying to throw 1 or 2 in the main. I know 10 Foot plays 1 in the main, and I think it's like really, really strong. And then the Breakers, I've only played 1 game with them so far, and they super overperform for the same reasons they do in the Forg deck. Just because you can run over Dyna, you can hit back row, you can hit the mask, run over something. Super, super strong card. And then your extra deck is just like the same kind of trash. But yeah, with all that yammering, I'm just going to show you the games I thought were really, really funny. Let's see. What was this one? I don't remember what this one was. Oh, this is me playing Bayou Turbo. So this is not a frog game. I was playing a little bit of Bayou Turbo yesterday. So only the last 2 were frog games from tonight. Yes, I play Chibi Gores. Chibi Gores is adorable. Okay, so my opponent sets Trap Dust Shoot and Raikou. I'm so sick of getting Trap Dust Shooted first play, by the way. It's so annoying. So, get Dust Shooted. I knew they were going to take my Subzitoad because it's like my Frog access in my hand works really well with Prodigy. They don't know I'm not on dupe. Yeah, so it's like, great. Love it. Sick. I wanted to thin my deck out of heroes. At least now I have the Prodigy Malicious Edge combo. I can dig further. I upstart and I drew my own Dust Shoot, which I thought was really funny. So set my Dust Shoot him, and I just decided to take the Gear Frame, and then I was like, I can just handle the Fortress. I'm not worried about a single Fortress. Figured it'd be Raikou. Of course, they mill another Fortress. I'm not sure here why they didn't just discard. Oh no, they don't have another machine. Yeah, so they have to do this. I'm like, okay, that's a little unfortunate, but whatever. They set the Mirror Force I know about. I drew the Heavy, which I'm super happy about. I know it's Mirror Force, so I'm just going to summon Prodigy, summon Edge, attack over the Fortress, and I'm hoping that he just can't, recover. And then I noticed he immediately top decks the Gear Frame again, so I don't know if it like didn't shuffle or something. And I even went into the log and it said he shuffled, so I don't know if that's like a glitch in DB or something. But this was like, this really tilted me because it was like his only way to stabilize, basically, or, push me hard again. And right here I was like, cool, I'm alive for 1 more turn, but it's probably not going to matter. Yeah, so that's game. Turn down the volume a little bit. So I'm like, cool, already have frog access. He does this to me, which really tilted me, I'm not gonna lie. What do you set? Bottomless, okay. Yeah, so like, I'll set sub to toad and I'll deprison the fortress. Right here, I was like really hoping this back row was not pull the rug. I was just willing to accept I lost if it was pulling the rug. It wasn't. I had really strong suspicions this was Raikou now, because why the heck wouldn't I? And then I'm like, of course he has Crow as well, but I can special the Treeborn, reestablish, or swap, excuse me, and then reestablish Treeborn. And then I'm just like, you know, banish the most obvious Raikou in history. And right here, I was never going to bring back my Treeborn, because I was actually expecting him to have, or not expecting, but like wary of the Torrential. So I just went straight to attack. I know this annoyed him. I set the dust. And then I know it's not an attack stopper, so I just dust the new one. Yep, I'm just going for another 24. I'm not summoning because I'm... Torrential is a card, right? And I don't really have much going for me. Like, if my hand was more powerful, I might, like, further extend, but it's not. Okay, so now we're going to game 3. Okay, and, like, I'm kind of happy with this because I've got the Breaker in case he has Dyna at some point, or Mask of Restrict. I've got the Cyber Dragon for the Contact Fusion, and then I can rise on top of it, and I also have Dust and Deprison Hoses Fortress, just like every other trap. So even though my hand's like really weird, I didn't mind it. What did you just set? MST, okay. Yeah, so I figured with my hand being like kind of weak and I have multiple breakers, I was just going to risk that it wasn't, you know, like a bottomless or deprison and just try and get this beats and get a plus here. And then I set my own deprison because, you know, stops fortress, so. Set bottomless. And there's no real reason for me to do anything, so I'm just gonna attack. And I thought about not setting another deprison. Oh, I set the dust. That's what I do. So right here, I just chained my dust to the heavy because I don't know if he has like a random Starlight Road or something, and I'm gonna lose everything anyway. And if, you know, I destroy the heavy storm and not the road, then he won't get Stardust. So I was like, fine. Yeah, instead of him selecting my card, he could have just sent his to grave, but he wanted me to do it first, but whatever. Yeah, he attacks over, I'm like, this is all totally fine. See, right here, I actually probably should have summoned Breaker and then tested it. Oh, no, I couldn't summon Breaker because if it wasn't anything, then I would just have to set the prison. So that honestly wouldn't be that bad anyway, though. So then my opponent books my Cyber Dragon, and I just start laughing in my room, just in this room. And because you can reveal for Contact Fusion, and he immediately just leaves the game. So I thought it was really funny. I mean, I think I'm winning this game anyway because I've got some juice. I've got the deprison. I've got a Monarch. You know, I don't remember what was coming up next, but I thought this was really, really funny. All right, so and the other replay from tonight. We're playing against Super Mario. Okay, so this game really shows how crazy that card is. The water art, it's so nuts. So, I water art him. And I just think about this for, I don't know, 45 seconds or so. But I'm not worried about Dark Armed, because it's forever away, especially after I discard something. He can't utilize Caius until He has a card already established, which I'm never going to let him do. Not don't give a single crap about Vayu or Gale by themselves, like in this context. And I can play around the 1D prison, so I decide to take out the Arma because it can send Sirocco, it can send Plague, maybe get some shenanigans going, get some maybe to the dad faster. So I just take the Arma. It's like a proper starter card. Now he doesn't have a proper starter card. So now he summons the Vayu and attacks. I'm like, this could not get any better. This is amazing. And I know that's D prison, right? And so I draw Ryza. So I was considering for a moment which one I want to make him top deck. And I just decided to do what I would draw first. And now that I have Substitute Brain Control, I know I can out the dad whenever I want. So I just decided to make him top deck D prison. Run it over. Now he's got 2 darks, can't do anything. And then I know the only card that's going to be an out in his hand next turn is the Gale to half. So I just set Mirror Force. So redraws the D prison. I'm like, sure. Oh, and also my plan was I could also potentially Substitute, get swap, bounce the Ryza, so I don't even care if it gets half, right? So I'm Mirror Force. He sets Mysterious card. And then I just draw the Swap Frog, which is really crazy. So I think about it for a while, and I just decide to keep the Substitute Brain Control combo just so I can get rid of the dad whenever I feel like. I just bounce the Ryza after I send another Treeborn. And I know if he deprisons the Swap Frog, I'm like the happiest man alive. He takes 1,000, I just pass. Because I know he has Caius Dad Prison, and he can't use any of those cards. So, then he draws Torrential. And I was even thinking about Torrential, just like I was the other game, because I guess I'm always thinking about Torrential. And I Ryza, and I'm just going to make him redraw the D prison again. I don't know why right here he does not Torrential, but I was really happy he didn't. And I just bounced the Ryza, attack for 1,000. And then he just quit. I was going to search Stratos main phase too, and he just quits. I really need to get up like 800-900 or maybe more. I'm going to start playing Retro Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot more, and I really want to go to some events next year. But it's really, really funny. Water Art's crazy. I just knew how to play the entire game, and that's how people feel when they trap dust shoot people. But there's no requirement, so you can do it at any point. So you can get out like a Saki card, like a Miracle or a Dad or a Return or something. Really, really crazy. And the other thing it's got me thinking about doing, I want to test Wing Blast. I remember Hayden mentioned that as well in his profile. I really hope his name's Hayden. I'm going to be really upset if it's not. I'm so sorry if it's not. I wanted to test Wing Blast because I figure if I Wing Blast them consistently, I can set them back further. And if I use Water Art or Dust Shoot, I know exactly how bad the Wing Blast would hurt, and I could just set my opponent back like multiple turns. If you get sent back multiple turns against Frogs, you are freaking cooked. So I do want to test the Wing Blast over the Rye Breaks, but I call Rye Breaks catch-alls, and that's what I really like about them is they're just catch-alls. But it could end up being just a really devastating combo, like always messing with your opponent's hand and then always messing with their top deck. So basically, either way, you're kind of like you're messing up their like current like card economy or whatever. But it's really funny. So hopefully you enjoyed just a couple of goofy replays. I'm probably gonna just play like 1 or 2 matches every day and just slowly like climb back up to like 800-900. I didn't play the game at all for like 6 months, and I'll play for a couple weeks and I'll walk away from it, waiting for like card games to come out. Really didn't like Shadowverse, just came out. I was waiting for Clash Mini to come out for like 3 years, and they butchered it and made it a trash game called Merge Tactics. So I'm just gonna play Retro Yu-Gi-Oh and like Pauper Magic, because I think both of those ways of playing cards is super fun. But yeah, let me know if you want me to play something else in Edison. This video is probably not going to do very well because I don't really post Yu-Gi-Oh on my channel. Algorithm isn't going to push it. But appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon.